The final zip tie is cut. The cables are managed to perfection. You peel the last piece of plastic off the glass, take a breath, and press the power button. It works. The lights flare to life, the fans spin in perfect sync, and the glorious post screen appears. You should be ecstatic, victorious. You've spent months researching, planning, and battling tiny front panel connectors. You won. So why do you feel hollow? That rush of adrenaline is gone. The obsessive research has ended. The war is over, the quest is complete, and the silence is deafening. You look at this perfect, powerful machine you created from nothing, and instead of pure joy, you feel a quiet, nagging emptiness. You're not broken, and you're not alone. This feeling has a name. It's a powerful psychological phenomenon that every single builder experiences but almost no one ever talks about. It's not a sign that you messed up. It's proof that the journey was more meaningful than the destination. And in this video, I'm not going to show you another benchmark. I'm going to explain the hidden psychology of why the most exciting part of building your dream PC is a part that has to end. To understand the crash, you first have to understand the high. And that high begins in the digital trenches. It starts quietly. You open one YouTube review, then another. Soon, you are 20 tabs deep into motherboard VRM analysis and RAM latency charts. You are not just watching videos anymore. You are studying Asian texts. You learn new language, a secret dialect of model numbers and acronyms that sounds like nonsense to the outside world. This isn't just research. It's a transformation. You become a scholar on a quest for forbidden knowledge. Every forum post you read, every benchmark you analyze, adds another page to your personal grimoire. You're no longer a passive consumer. You're an architect drawing up the blueprint for a titan. Then comes the assembly of your champion. You're not just adding items to a shopping cart. You are hand-selecting the heart, the brain, and the soul of your machine. This GPU is the brawn. This CPU is the intellect. This NVMe drive is its lightning-fast reflexes. Each choice feels monumental because it island. You are crafting a digital extension of yourself, a hero built to conquer the worlds you love. Every single part is a deliberate decision, a piece of a puzzle that only you have the full picture for. And through it all, you have a purpose, a mission. In a world that is often chaotic and uncertain, the build provides a beautiful temporary clarity. Your objective is crystal clear. Make the machine live. Every problem, from a compatibility check to a confusing cable, is a dragon to be slain on your path. Every solution you find is a small, satisfying victory. Then, the day the boxes arrive, the quest becomes real. The air in the room shifts. This is no longer a theoretical exercise. It's a high-stakes surgical procedure, and you are the only surgeon. You hold the CPU, a tiny, impossibly dense square of power, and your hands suddenly feel like clumsy hammers. The YouTube guy says, just line up the triangle. But what they don't tell you is that you'll be holding your breath so long you'll feel lightheaded. The tension is unbearable as you lower it into the socket, praying you don't hear the sickening crunch of 1,000 bent pins. And then, it just sits. A perfect fit. That's the first release. A wave of relief. But it's short-lived. The retention arm requires a terrifying amount of force, a pressure that feels fundamentally wrong. Your brain screams stop, but you push through until you hear it. Click. A solid, final sound of success. Another hit of dopamine. Next, the RAM. You line up the sticks, you push, and nothing happens. You push harder, feeling the motherboard bend beneath your thumbs. For a terrifying second, you are convinced you're about to snap your entire foundation in two. You give it one last desperate shove, and snap. The clips lock into place. It's a sound of violence and of victory. This is the cycle. Tension, release. A relentless loop of fear followed by triumph. Each step, from the maddening hunt for the standoff holes to the nightmare of the front panel connectors, is a mini boss battle. And with each one you defeat, your sense of purpose grows stronger. You are not just following instructions. You are creating life. And then, it's done. You followed the scriptures. You fought the small battles. You've connected the last cable, screwed in the last panel, and now you stand before the final boss, the power button. This is the moment of judgment. All of that research, all of that money, all of that hope comes down to this single press. You plug it in, flip the switch on the power supply, and hesitate. Your hand hovers over the button. For a second, an eternity, nothing happens. And in that silence, every mistake you could have possibly made flashes through your mind. That thermal paste application, a loose cable you might have missed, a forgotten switch on the power supply, your heart sinks. It's over. You failed. You press it. For a second, an eternity, there's only silence. Every mistake you could have possibly made flashes through your mind. The thermal paste, a loose cable, a forgotten switch on the power supply. Your heart sinks into your stomach. It's over. You failed. You feel the cold dread of 1,000 wasted dollars. And then a flicker, a single LED on the motherboard. The fans twitch, then spin to life. The case fills with a gentle hum, the beautiful sound of life. You look to the monitor, and there it island. That single, beautiful, glorious pulse screen. It's more satisfying than any AAA game you will ever play on this machine. Because you didn't just win the game, you created the universe it lives in. The wave of euphoria that washes over you is absolute. You did it. The war is won. For the next 48 hours, you're on top of the world. You install your OS, your drivers, your favorite games. You run the benchmarks and smile at the glorious numbers. This is it. This is the payoff. But then, a few days later, you sit down at your desk and a strange feeling begins to creep in. The machine is perfect. It's quiet, powerful, and does everything you ever dreamed it would. But the thrill is fading. The obsessive thoughts about airflow and clock speeds are gone. The quest is over. And in its place, there's a quiet, hollow space. You expected to feel pure, unending joy from using your creation. Instead, you find yourself missing the fight to create it. This isn't a defect in your personality. It's a well-documented psychological phenomenon, often called post-project depression or the arrival fallacy. It's the mistaken belief that when you arrive at a destination you've long been working toward, you'll achieve a lasting state of happiness. But our brains are wired differently. Psychologically, we get a much greater and more sustained dopamine release from the anticipation and the process of working towards a goal than from actually achieving it. It's like planning the perfect vacation for 6 months. The research, the booking, the packing, the excitement is in the build-up. The moment you get home and unpack, the magic is gone, replaced by quiet melancholy. Your PC build was your vacation, and now you're home. The most powerful way to fight that void is to turn your finished build into a true masterpiece of silent, optimized harmony. I've packed everything into my Art of PC Harmony ebook. Grab it with our free PC game from the first link on my site for just €5. And if you feel it's worth more, you can even leave a tip. So how do you fight the void? How do you get that feeling of purpose back when the main mission is over? You don't have to sell your rig and start over. The answer is to change the game you're playing. First, you need to reframe the end goal. You didn't just build a PC to let it sit there. You built it to be mastered. The end of the build isn't the finish line. It's the starting line for a new kind of quest. Think of your PC not as a finished monument, but as a platform for learning. Your new purpose is optimization. Dive into the art of overclocking to squeeze out every last drop of performance. Spend an afternoon creating the perfect custom fan curves for silent operation. Redo your cable management until it's a work of art. Learn a piece of demanding software like Blender or DaVinci Resolve just to see what your creation is truly capable of. The machine is built, but the mastery has just begun. Second, always have the next, smaller project on the horizon. Your brain fell in love with the process of creation, so you need to give it another fix. It doesn't have to be another $1,000 build. It can be something smaller that scratches the same itch. Build a custom mechanical keyboard. Solder a new switch into your mouse. Learn to code a simple program. These smaller projects provide that same satisfying loop of research, building, and completion, keeping that builder's energy flowing without breaking the bank. And finally, the most powerful strategy of all, share the knowledge. You've been through the war, You've learned the secrets. Now you get to become the mentor you wish you had. Help a friend with their first build. Go back to those forums, not to ask questions, but to answer them. The act of teaching solidifies your own knowledge and gives you a profound new sense of purpose. You're no longer just a builder, you're a guide, helping the next person begin their own journey. You're passing the torch. So that hollowness you feel isn't a bug, it's a feature. It's the quiet echo left behind by a truly meaningful journey. The size of the emptiness is just a measure of how epic the quest was. You didn't just assemble a machine. You went to war with doubt and complexity, and you won. That machine on your desk isn't just a tool for playing games. It's a monument to your own patience and potential. Every build has that one moment, that one impossible screw or stubborn connector that almost breaks you. What was your war story? Share it in the comments below. Let's see who survived the toughest battles.